Alright.
Glad you made it.
So this is
Just got here
Loghain.
myself.
This is
My
where
contact
Loghain
information.
will be anyway.
Let's go.
It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
Warden Loghain McTeer. I believe we have a common cause, Inquisitor.
There was a Loghain who joined the Wardens after he lost Ferelden's throne.
The traitor Terran. Yes. I've heard all the names.
Then that's you?
I've been a Warden for 10 years. They will never fully consider me theirs. Something I've had cause to be grateful for recently.
I'll take all the help I can get. I know the Wardens have troubles of their own. I wonder, though, might those troubles have anything to do with Corypheus?
I believe so. After Hawke killed Corypheus, Weishaupt was content to forget the whole affair. If an archdemon can survive seemingly mortal wounds, why not Corypheus? I began to investigate. I found evidence, but no proof. And then, soon after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
You never told me.
I didn't believe it concerned you.
You think Corypheus is using this calling to control the Grey Wardens?
Not directly, no. The calling warns a Grey Warden that his corruption will soon claim him, that he is dying.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Thanks to Corypheus, I believe. If the Wardens fall, who will stop the next Blight? That is what's panicked my brethren.
Thanks to the calling, Corypheus has them scared. They're playing right into his hands.
Is the calling they're hearing real? Or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I don't know. Even as a senior Warden, I knew little about him. The Wardens believe it to be real, despite my warnings about Corypheus. That is all that matters at the moment.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you? And also you, Blackwall?
Yes. It's like an itch at the back of my mind. At times, it's barely there at all. But then I find myself starting to hum it under my breath. It is vile. I can understand why so many Wardens have gone mad from fear of it.
I do not fear the calling. And worrying about it only gives it power. Anything Corypheus does will only strengthen my resolve.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I don't know. It's likely part of his nature. Corypheus is, or was, once a mortal man. The Blight owns him, but it did not create him. Wardens are tied to the Blight through the Darkspawn. That is how Corypheus influences Warden minds. Somehow he is using that power to mimic the calling.
So the Wardens think they're dying and have stopped thinking clearly. That won't go well.
A Blight nearly destroyed Ferelden. A Blight without Wardens to stop it might well destroy the world. Warden Commander Clarel proposed a ritual involving blood magic. A desperate measure to prevent further blights. When I protested the plan, called it madness, they tried to arrest me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the western approach. It's an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will find answers.
Let's go.
Well, that's one view of Loghain. But now I go to now I go to the western approach. I'm not gonna show all of this. This is just something before before I actually get there. I probably will change Hawk's appearance. I'm not really happy with it. And bloody hell, Bioware, what have you done with Loghain? His face. His face. It's like Udina in Mass Effect 3. Really bad.
Visitor, welcome to the Western Approach. We've sighted Warden activity to the southwest, but no one's been close enough to figure out what they're doing. Between the sandstorms and the vicious wildlife, we haven't made it far out here. One of my men got too close to a poison hot spring and gave me a slightly delirious report of a high dragon flying overhead. In short, this might just be the worst place in the entire world. Be careful out there.
Well, it's good to know what I'm in for.
Sorry I don't have more for you. We intercepted a Venatori messenger and, persuaded him to give up the orders he was carrying. We have them here. This entire place. It just feels like something's not right. Be careful.
Alright. Alright. So Loghain asked to join here.
Good. Whatever's happening has already started. We saw lights coming from the tower.
It has to be blood magic. Steel yourselves. Whatever lies inside won't be pretty. You take point. I'll guard your backs.
Wait! No.
Warden Commander Clarel's orders were clear.
This is wrong!
Remember your oath. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death, I'm sorry. Sacrifice. Good. Now bind it just as I showed you. Inquisitor, what an unexpected pleasure. Lord Livius Erimond of Virantium, at your service.
You're no warden, mage.
But you are. The one Clarel let slip. And you found the Inquisitor and came to stop me. Shall we see how that goes?
Wardens, this man is lying to you. He serves an ancient Tevinter Magister who wants to unleash a blight.
That's a very serious accusation. Let's see what the Wardens think. Wardens, hands up. Hands down.
Corypheus controls them.
They did this to themselves. You see, the calling had the Wardens terrified. They looked everywhere for help.
In desperation, they turned to the Imperium.
Yes, and since it was my master who put the calling into their little heads, we in the Venatori were prepared. I went to Clarel full of sympathy, and together we came up with a plan. Raise a demon army, march into the deep roads, and kill the old gods before they wake.
Corypheus marching across Orlais with an army of demons. I was shown that back at the Seeker Fortress.
And now you know how it begins. Sadly for the Wardens, the binding ritual I taught their mages has a side effect. They're now my master's slaves. This was a test. Once the rest of the Wardens complete the ritual, the army will conquer Thedas.
Do you really want to see the world fall to the Blight? What do you get out of this?
The Elder One commands the Blight. He is not commanded by it, like the mindless Darkspawn. The Blight is not unstoppable or uncontrollable. It is simply a tool.
Somebody's certainly a tool.
As for me, while the Elder One rules from the Golden City, we, the Venatori, will be his god kings here in the world.
Release the Wardens from the binding and surrender. I won't ask twice.
No, you won't. The Elder One showed me how to deal with you, in the event you were foolish enough to interfere again. That mark you bear, the anchor that lets you pass safely through the Veil, you stole that from my master. He's been forced to seek other ways to access the Fade. When I bring him your head, his gratitude will be... Ah! Kill them!
Blood magic.
As you feared, the mages who completed the ritual are under the thrall of Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Sacrificed? I knew the Wardens would go too far.
The mages killed their fellow Wardens. Nothing can justify that.
I don't care about justification. It's past time to take arms against the Wardens and stop this madness.
Despite their lack of wisdom, they acted out of necessity.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
In the direction Eramon fled, the only structure of note is an abandoned Warden fortress, Adamant. I suspect we'll find the Wardens there. I suppose it's fortunate a friend once gave me some old maps.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant, and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
Did Hawke tell you? We tracked Eramon to Adamant Fortress. Idiots. So devoted to their cause that they abandoned all common sense.
How could the Wardens do this? What did the Warden Commander tell them?
Lorel said we were making the hard decisions necessary to fight future blights. Wardens do what is necessary to stop the Darkspawn. We're the only ones who truly can. It's a burden few can imagine. Although, with that mark on your hand, perhaps you can.
I heard something of what happened in Ferelden. How is it you weren't executed?
When your mistakes are public, everyone feels they have the right to a personal apology. In the final hours of the Blight, the Wardens were short-handed. They needed every soldier they could get. The rest of my life will be my penance.
How did you end up an enemy of the Wardens again?
When the calling began, I searched as much as anyone for an answer. I protested the rituals, but faced little resistance until I began to investigate the death of Corypheus. The Warden mages branded me a traitor and attacked. When I defended myself, Lorel ordered my death.
Corypheus was imprisoned by the Wardens, right? So they must know who or what he is.
Secrets are a habit with the Wardens, one that costs many lives. Some knowledge is too dangerous to share. I knew little of Corypheus, and that was more than most. No one thought that knowledge could be vital.
You said that Clarel was Warden Commander. I thought that the hero of Ferelden led the Wardens.
There's more than one Warden Commander. Each oversees a region, most often a single nation. The man you speak of was Warden Commander of Ferelden. He disappeared some time ago. It's possible he joined the rest of the Wardens, although I cannot say for certain.
I'll talk to you later.
Wardens! We are betrayed by the very world we have sworn to protect!
The Inquisition is inside, Clarel. We have no time to stand on ceremony.
These men and women are giving their lives, Magister. That might mean little in Tevinter, but for the Wardens, it is a sacred duty. It has been many long years, my friend.
Too many, Clarel. If my sword arm can no longer serve the Wardens, then my blood will have to do.
It will.
Stop them! We must complete the ritual!
Clarel! If you complete that ritual, you're doing exactly what Eramund wants.
What? Fighting the Blight? Keeping the world safe from Darkspawn? Who wouldn't want that? And yes, the ritual requires blood sacrifice. Hate me for that if you must, but do not hate the Wardens for doing their duty!
We make the sacrifices no one else will. Our warriors die proudly for a world that will never thank them.
And then he takes your mage's minds for his real master, Corypheus.
Corypheus? But he's dead.
These people will say anything to shake your confidence, Clarel.
Bring it through! Please. I've seen more than my share of blood magic. It is never worth the cost.
I betrayed the Wardens once and it cost me everything! Are you mad enough to think I'd do it again?
Be ready with the ritual, Clarel. This demon is truly worthy of your strength.
Blackwall, can you talk some sense into them?
You don't know me, but you may have heard my name. Like you, I've given my life to the Grey Wardens. The first time I put on this armor, I felt like I belonged. Like I was part of something honorable. Something with a purpose. I know how good that feels. How safe. But fighting and dying here today won't stop the Blight. If you want to stop the Blight, kill that bastard up there. His master is the living embodiment of its corruption.
Clarel, we have come so far. You're the only one who can do this.
Perhaps we could test the truth of these charges to avoid more bloodshed.
Or perhaps I should bring in a more reliable ally. My master thought you might come here, Inquisitor. He sent me this to welcome you. Clarel, wait.
Help the Inquisitor!
I'll cover you.
No, you were right. The Wardens made this mistake. A Warden must...
A Warden must help them rebuild. That's your job. Corypheus is mine.
Hawke.
Say goodbye to Varric for me.
No way I let the old man die right there. Besides, screw Hawke.
Without the Nightmare, Corypheus loses both his Warden mages and his demon army. But in the eyes of your soldiers, their Inquisitor broke the spell with the power of the Maker.
They came out of this alive. As far as I'm concerned, they can tell whatever stories they like.
I suppose you're right.
Inquisitor, the Archdemon flew off as soon as you disappeared. The Venatori Magister is unconscious but alive. Cullen thought you might wish to deal with him yourself. As for the Wardens, those who weren't corrupted helped us fight the demons.
We stand ready to help make up for Clarel's tragic mistake.
We've seen no sign of Hawke since the ledge collapsed, Inquisitor. We assumed she was with you.
Hawke sacrificed her life to save us and strike a decisive blow against Corypheus. She gave her life not because she'd sworn an oath or been marked as special, but because someone had to do it.
Loghain, you're the senior surviving Grey Warden. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Loghain believes that the Wardens are worth saving, and I trust him. You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori, but there are plenty of demons that need killing.
Are you flinging these fools at demons now, my dear? Couldn't you just use rocks?
While they do, I'll report to the Wardens at Weishaupt. Corypheus won't catch us off guard again.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
You have the makings of a great army, Inquisitor. Use it well.
Okay, that was quite an amusing end, really. Quite an amusing end. Loghain takes command of the Grey Wardens.
Loghain sent me one final report. He's on his way to Weishaupt. As for the Grey Wardens, they are fighting demons and Red Templars while staying clear of Venatori.